Okay, so now that I have my new Lego shelves into place and everything's installed, I have floating shelf brackets in place, so I can put in a whole bunch of glass plates that I've picked up at different stores that were going out of business, picked them up from different displays and that they were doing. And I can slide them into the blades, and I got the LED accent lighting behind it that shines through them or just straight out of the blade. But how do I have all that powered? How am I getting power to all these different individual LED strips? Because each set comes down to the end here and has its own wire, and that is now feeding into a set of PTFIX blocks that we have from Phoenix Contact. So each one of these uses our PT or push-in style mechanism, where you push that orange mechanism and releases a spring in there, and you can pull your wire in and out. And so this has been really helpful in what I was doing here, because I would go along and I would test an LED strip, then I'd go back down, install it onto the blade itself, because they're in there and they're adhered down in, and then so I'd go through, do the soldering, bring it up, test it out, take it back down, do the assembly, and bring it back up here. And then once it was finally installed, put it back into the PTFIX block, and it was just super easy using this mechanism. You push the mechanism down in and release the wire. Like I said, if you ferrule your wires, you can actually just push them right into the block. You don't even have to actuate anything. They just force their way in. I didn't have ferrules at the time. I wasn't at a place where could get them quickly, so I just tinned my wires, and so I would push the mechanism, put the wire in, and then release it and lock it into place. So I've got 14 shelves of 14 different strips, and I ran them all down through here, started tightening this up. I'm going to put these PTFIX blocks inside this enclosure I had laying around that I was going to use for another project, never happened. So I'll just use some double stick tape to adhere them to one side of the panel. They work on DIN rails too, but in my case I didn't need a DIN rail, so I'll just adhere them down. So I got 14 sets of wires coming in, one set coming in for power, and all these lines are common in here. So normally you would have the main power line coming into this larger contact up here, because it would be carrying more power than in distributing it out. But my main line has the same size wire as every wire coming out of it. And so I've got all these LEDs now in parallel attached to here, and running all these different shelves around the corner here to do this accent lighting. Oh, that's all that there. I'll work on the enclosure then. I'll probably put a cable gland or something on it to just kind of grab and tighten, and put maybe a little bit of strain relief on that. Not much. I'm not worried about it too much. I might mount the box here then on the wall, and have this little strip of LEDs to connect the power in, and so I'll bury that in this box too, so that's not sitting out here. And I'll leave the control and the sensor for the remote exposed out here outside the box. We'll probably just attach that to the outside of the box. But that's how I have this going together. I have all these LEDs in parallel coming off of these PTFIX blocks.